I'm Chris Cardaz.
And I'm John Fedko. And we love vinyl records. And today we're going back to November 11th, 1957. We're going to take a look at the big hits from that week.
We're going to take 30 singles from November 11th, 1957, and then I will show you the corresponding LPs to the singles. I've got some sheet music for some of the songs there. And I think we'll get started.
This is right in your wheelhouse. This is going to be a great show. I know you've got an unbelievable collection from the 50s. So let's get started. There was a Hot 100 45s singles in the Billboard issue of November 11th, 1957. By the way, that issue was 168 pages. That's how huge Billboard was back then. And the record industry was gigantic in 1957.
It's hard to find stuff in those magazines, those old magazines. So let's get started. First one's going to be number 89 today, and this is the legendary Fats Domino.
This is number 89 single. We're talking 45s now.
That's right.
Okay.
This one is called I Still Love You. And the flip side is also a hit, bigger hit actually. Wait and See was number 27. But this is on a Maroon Imperial. And the corresponding album, it didn't show up on an album until Fats Domino sings Million Record Hits, which is a couple of years down the line, but it's a great cover, and that's why I picked that song, because I like that cover.
Wow, and you got some sheet music for that?
I do not have a sheet
but we will have sheet music for a lot of our other stuff.
I do indeed.
Okay.
I do indeed. Number 83. Here we go. This is going to be Pat Boone.
We knew Pat Boone was going to show up on November 11th, 1957.
This is his classic single, Love Letters in the Sand.
What a great sleeve that is. Oh, that's just
flip
awesome.
side, Bernadine is a really good song, an up-tempo song.
Wow, and there's the flip side. That is so cool, these sleeves in 57. The famous dot label for him.
And as was the case with a lot of artists, a lot of times the singles didn't show up on an album until a greatest hits. This is a greatest hits, and that's where Love Letters in the Sand comes in. We also have the sheet music for Pat Boone, Love Letters in the Sand, and I want to talk about Pat Boone a little bit, just a little bit. He takes a lot of abuse over the years. They blamed him for singing rhythm and blues songs, and, you know, for white artists and everything, and they seem to really focus on him, but everybody did that. Elvis did it. Ricky Nelson did it. Even Buddy Holly, I saw him do a couple of things, but he gets a lot of the blame for it. But he's a really cool guy. There's something I wanted to show you, something that you need to know. This is one of my first books. Look at this book. This is how I learned about singles. This is a singles book. First one I ever got. You can see how
put it up here where you can see it.
No,
I mean, it's falling apart.
Yeah,
what's the name of the book?
It's Joel Whitburn's Top Pop Records from 1955 through 1972.
That is so cool.
1972. It goes all the way to 72.
Yeah.
Why I brought this up is because in the back it gives you a listing of all of the artists, the top 100 artists of that time period, 55 through 1972. That includes all the 60s bands and everything like that. Number one act, Elvis Presley.
Of course, yeah.
The number two act, the Beatles, right?
Right.
What do you think the number three act was? Pat
Boone. That is so awesome.
Pat Boone. But you wouldn't believe that today because you never hear his record.
I hear him. I love him.
You know, I love him. I love Pat Boone. He's
I love
a smooth
Pat
guy. What do I want to say about Pat Boone? He made a lot of movies, 15 movies. He had a TV
What's his best
show.
movie, you think? And what comes to mind with Pat Boone?
I like April Love. Okay. And I like this one, the Bernadine and stuff like that. State Fair, you know, he's a cool guy.
He is.
Clean cut. It was a different time period. You wish you could crawl back in there.
I think his music's great.
Pat Boone. He had 26 top 20 singles, and 18 of them hit the top 10.
Wow.
That's big, Jack.
That's big.
That's really, really big. So let's move on from there. Going to number 82. This is a girl group, the Chantels. This is on the Great End label with an end sleeve too. This is called He's Gone. A lot of people consider them the first female rock and roll group.
Where was this on the charts this week?
This
November
is
11th, 1957?
number 82.
Number 82.
He's gone, and it comes with a very rare LP. This
Wow.
is We Are the Chantels. They got rid of this cover and changed it to something much simpler later on.
That is so cool.
Because they said this was racist or something like that, but it's really, really cool. We Are the Chantels on And I Have No Sheet music for that. Next, number 81, this is the Five Satins. They had come off a huge record earlier called In the Still of the Night. Everybody knows that. But this is a really great song because each step draws you closer to the aisle. A real scary song. To the aisle. The Five Satins. We used to sing a song by them in the band, and I would call it to the band and say it's the Five Satans. So we're going to do that. Five Satins. This song got as high as number 25. And there's an album for that. This is the album with the big hit, Still of the Night.
Album.
Also has To the Aisle on here. There's the Five Satins. How
on
cool
the Ember label.
Is
that is really cool.
Number 80, we have a doo-wop group, white doo-wop group called the Mellow Kings. This is a classic doo-wop song called Tonight, Tonight. There is no album by the Mellow Kings, but the first album it shows up on is Herald. This is a, you call it a compilation album of what the Herald hits. And this first song, Tonight, Tonight, is on there.
Herald, the label, being the label,
by the Mellow Kings. And that's what we've got going on right there. Next, we have number 76, my man, Mr. Ricky Nelson.
Oh, yes.
This is his second single. This first single's bigger. That'll show up here too. But this is the second one. It's called You're My One and Only Love. It's on a black Verve. See that?
Yep.
My hand shaking. I think I'm a little nervous.
A great looking record.
There's not even a flip by him on there. It's an instrumental. This is You're My One and Only Love, and it comes on an album called Teen Time with Ricky
there
Nelson.
He is. There's the great Ricky Nelson.
And it has his first single, A Teenager's Romance, and I'm Walking, and this. He did 3 songs in a session. Verve had it, and they turned him out on here. Ozzy immediately switched him from Verve to Imperial right after that, but they put that on there. Okay, I want to show you the sheet music for this. This is Ricky Nelson for the second single, You're My One and Only Love. He was on the Ozzy and Harriet show with his brother. They were on for 14 years, and that helped propel his career and everything. And it's a lot of fun. I have them all. I have the whole series.
You have a DVD box set with all 14 seasons.
Oh yeah, it's super. Not DVD. See, yeah, DVD. Yeah, that's what it is. Really good. Okay, next we have number 75. This is
number 75 on November 11th, 1957.
Yes, this is Frankie Lyman. No teenagers this time. Just Frankie Lyman, Goody Goody. This is one of his most well-known songs. And this was an old song. It was a number 1 song by Benny Goodman in 1936. And when he sang this song, he was about 15 years old. Here's the album. The album's called Frankie Lyman at the London Palladium. I don't think it has anything to do with the London Palladium, but the song Goody Goody is on here. And I actually had the sheet music for that as well. Goody Goody.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's really cool. Next, we're going to number 66. This is Mr. Jackie Wilson. This is the first single released by Jackie Wilson on Brunswick. This is a maroon Brunswick. It's called Reet Petite.
Great sleeve.
Yeah, there's an album for that. This is his first LP. He's So Fine, Jackie Wilson. I don't have a sheet music for that. Let me see. He's one of the all-time great singers. He's just, everybody agrees he's one of the best soul singers ever. He used to sing with Billy Ward in the Dominoes. And he can sing any kind of music. He can sing rhythm and blues. He can sing pop. He does stuff that's light classical. You know, you never know what. He's got a real operatic voice, yet he can sing real soulful, and he does somersaults and everything. He's just a tremendous guy. Next, we have number 61, major artist. This is Buddy Holly on choral. Early singles said Buddy Holly and the Crickets, but this is Peggy Sue by Buddy Holly. An unusual drum rhythm on this song. That's what helps propel this song. It just sounds so great. Jerry Allison on the drums, and he's one of the guys that helped write the song. Well, I'll tell you a little story about that. I was just a little boy. I was almost 4, I guess. I was 3 years old, almost 4. My mother says, "We're going down the street. We're going downtown. You want to come? You have to come." All right. I said, "Okay. Can we get a record?" "No." "Can we get a record?" "No." "Can we get a record?" "No." Like The Simpsons, "Can we go to Splash Mountain?" "No." You never see that episode. Finally, my mom says, "Okay, all right, one record." Here it is.
Peggy Sue.
Peggy Sue by Buddy Holly. Just something I remember.
That is so cool.
Just something. On the flip, we have Every Day, which is a great.
Oh, wow. A great cover by James Taylor on that one.
That's just a great.
There it is. Every Day. Oh, what a great single. Every Day and Peggy Sue.
Oh, yeah.
That is so cool.
Here's the LP, Buddy Holly, with no glasses on, Buddy Holly.
Very cool.
And we have a little sheet music for that as well.
Wow.
Peggy Sue. There we go. I love that.
That is so cool. All right.
I'm going to move right along to number 58. Number 58. On November 11th, 1957, this comes in at number 58. This is a guy by the name of Larry Williams. It's on the specialty label. He's a friend of Little Richard's. Now, this is a cool guy, and he's got a story. He wrote and sang 3 songs that the Beatles recorded.
Wow.
This guy. The 3 songs are "You Make Me Dizzy, Miss Lizzie," "Slow Down," which is my favorite. I like that, "Slow Down." And what's the other one? I can't remember.
Well, he wrote 3 Beatles songs.
Yeah,
that is
Beatles.
incredible.
Got to be on here somewhere. Let's take a look. Dizzy Miss Lizzie? No, it isn't, but there's the album. Here's Larry Williams, and
Wow.
I have no sheet music for that. You Make Me Dizzy Miss Lizzie. "Slow Down." "Bad Boy," that's it. A Bad Boy from Beatles 6. Okay, next we have number 56, the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, and Teddy Bear.
Beautiful picture sleeve.
Got a little picture sleeve there
Wow.
for you. This is from the movie Loving You. The record went all the way to number 1. It was number 1 for 7 weeks. It's a short song. I think it's less than 2 minutes long. But there's a great video of him in Loving You doing this song. There's a great video of him doing Mean Woman Blues. And this is the first movie in color and everything. So if you want to see what all the fuss was about, what's the big deal about Elvis, you watch those 50s movies. This one is the first one in color, and watch what's going on, and you'll see what all the fuss was about. It's really something to see. Teddy bears. He got an awful lot of teddy bears that year for Christmas. Hundreds of teddy bears he got. So that's what was going on there. Here's the album it comes from. This is from the movie Loving You, Elvis Presley. And here's the sheet music for Teddy Bear.
That's awesome.
Next we have number 55. The legendary Chuck Berry in rock and roll music. Chuck Berry's importance cannot be overstated. His records have been recorded by everybody important. The Beatles did rock and roll music. The Stones did Around and Around. And Carol, the Beach Boys, Surfing USA is Sweet Little 16. In fact, they had to give him writing credit for doing that song and everything like that. Elvis did Memphis, Tennessee. And everybody on the planet did Johnny Be Good. This has got to be the most famous rock and roll song of all time. What was that? Back to the Future? Is that what he was playing? Johnny Be Good. And even the Grateful Dead did Johnny Be Good. So that's how important this guy is, Chuck Berry. And here's this album. This is his second album. It's called 1 Dozen Berries. Very nice LP. And we've got a little sheet music.
Chess label.
The Chess, actually, classic Chess label. There's the rock and roll music, sheet music, and that. All right, we're moving right along, moving right up here to number 38. Okay. A blues song. I like to put a blues one in once in a while. This is a classic label. This is the old VJ Records on maroon label. This is Jimmy Reed and Honest I Do. And this comes from, I believe this is his first album. I'm Jimmy Reed. Cool album, huh?
Oh, that is really awesome.
Jimmy Reed. And after that, we're going to number 33. First from the blues, we're going to Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra, number 33 on November 11th, 1957. And Frank's song this week?
All the Way.
All the Way.
All the Way.
From the Purple Capitol label.
Purple Capitol. Here's the LP. The little painting of Frank on there.
I would imagine this album was one of the best sellers this week, too. I would think it would be. Yeah, this was one of his big albums.
That's a very nice piece of sheet music for All the Way. Let's talk about that a little bit. Frank Sinatra, All the Way. They won an Oscar for the song, the songwriters for All the Way. And there was a little bit of a controversy for this song because the words are, when somebody loves you, it's no good unless he loves you all the way. And some people thought that that was a little controversial or
risque.
Too risque or sexy or smutty, you know.
Yeah,
so they did an investigation on it, and they decided they'd give them the Oscar for the song, and it was okay because it was Frank Sinatra. But if Elvis or Little Richard would have recorded the song, they would have put them in prison. I think they would have. That's what they do. Okay, next we have number 31. This is a flip side. This is a B side. This is Elvis. This is a great great
that is
picture.
A beautiful picture sleeve.
This is Treat Me Nice, and this is from the movie Jailhouse Rock. It was written by Lieber and Stoller. Got this particular song got all the way to number 18. It's a great record. It looks great in the movie. And the keyboard player, Stoller, one of the songwriters, he explained to Elvis how to sing the song because he didn't like the way Elvis was doing it. He wanted to sing it like this. And he showed him how to do this jumpy singing and everything like that. And Elvis was so impressed with this that he told the producers and everything to put him in the movie. So when you see them playing and the keyboard players playing the piano, that's Mike Stoller, Lieber and Stoller.
That's awesome.
So this album, that particular single, didn't show up on an album till Elvis's Golden Records here. This is the first pressing of this Elvis Golden Records. Treat Me Nice. And this is the sheet music for that. Treat Me Nice. I'm going to need this single back. And that's where we are right now. We're moving up to number 21. This is a cool one. This is a real cool
song. On
the
Hot 100 charts on November 11th, 1957. Number 21 is on the Brunswick label.
All it says on the record is the Crickets.
Okay.
This is Buddy Holly and the Crickets.
That'll be the day.
That'll Be the Day. A classic song, the one that Linda Ronstadt did years later. It was one of her bigger hits. This song was...
So Buddy Holly has two singles on the Hot 100. One as Buddy Holly and one as the Crickets.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Bizarre, yeah. And here's the album. This is the first album. This is the Chirping Crickets.
Look at that album.
It says nothing on here about Buddy Holly. Just says the Chirping Crickets, and it's got this textured cover.
It is.
It's real nice and cool.
Wow, that is so cool.
And this is a great piece of sheet music with the boys on here. The Crickets. They were young guys. That'll Be the Day. Buddy Holly and the Crickets. And we're moving up into the top 20 here now. Number 17 coming up. This is Jerry Lee Lewis on Sun Records. Sun Records did not come with this Sun sleeve back then. They didn't do this till the 60s or something, but I put them on there because it looks so cool.
Yeah.
Sun Records. That's a whole lot of shaking going on. One of his classic singles. He only had 3 top 10 singles.
Wow.
Whole lot of shaking going on, and Breathless and Great Balls of Fire. Yet he's considered one of the premier rock and roll acts of all time. But there's actually, he had very few hit records. But that's one of them, a whole lot of shaking. That didn't show up on any of his early LPs. The actual first LP it shows up on is a Sun compilation called Sun's Golden Hits, and there's a whole lot of shaking going on.
Wow.
He has 2 early albums on Sun, but that song was
great. Carl Perkins and Blue Suede Shoes on this album. What an album. Johnny Cash and Walk the Line.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow.
Stuff.
Charlie Rich. It's a great album right there.
Next we have number 16. This is a guy I like. His name is Gene Vincent. This song is called A Lot of Lovin'. He had a huge record with Be-Bop that everybody knows that song. Song sounds like Elvis Presley. So Elvis is making a movie or something like that. He gets a call from his mom congratulating him. She hears this song on the radio all the time, this Be-Bop, and what a huge hit it is for him and everything. He had to tell him, Mom, it's not my song. It's not my song. This one's called A Lot of Lovin'.
On the Capitol label. Purple Capitol label.
And I have a piece of sheet music for that too. It's called A Lot of Lovin'. There we go. Do I have an? Yes, I do. I do have an album.
Let's take a look at it.
It didn't show up on an album to his greatest hits. This is actually a gatefold album. This came out later, and it looks like a 60s record, but that's the only, it's on Capitol, so it counts. That's his greatest hits, and that's where A Lot of Lovin' shows up. Number 12 coming up. This is very cool. One of the premier acts of the 50s. This is Little Richard and Keep a Knockin' with a picture sleeve. Keep a Knockin', but you can't come in. Went all the way to number 8. Very talented guy, very striking guy. And it was like culture shock when you saw this guy. Let's say one week you turn the television on and there's Eddie Fisher or Perry Como or something, and the next week you turn your television on and this guy shows up and he's doing Richard. Something, and it was truly frightening. It was truly
revolutionary.
That's a good word. Yeah. Elvis, they were worried about Elvis. They were equally worried about Little Richard and everything like that.
Rock and roll's morphing into different things, you know, and he certainly was a big part of it.
He was in the movie. This was in the movie Mr. Rock and Roll. Elvis did Little Richard songs, Tutti Frutti, Rip It Up. The Beatles did Long Tall Sally. Just everybody did it.
Sure, all the cool kids like Little Richard.
He created a lot of energy, and he created a frenzy. Is what this guy. I love even today when you see him, you never take your eyes off him. Keep a Knockin's the first song on his second album. That's this one, Little Richard. I don't have sheet music for that. Number 11 coming up. Young man, Mr. Paul Anka. First single, I think, on ABC Paramount. This is Diana. He was only 15 years old. He wrote this song. and he's written all kinds of songs throughout his entire career. He's still around, made a lot of hit records in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. He had a big comeback in the 70s. He wrote the Tonight Show theme. He wrote the lyrics to My Way. He wrote She's a Lady for Tom Jones. You could just go on and on. A very impressive guy. This is from his first album. Nice looking album, huh? Paul Anka. And there's the sheet music as well for Diana. That's number 11. Now we're going to go blasting into the top 10.
Go to the top 10 now. The top 10 singles, November 11th, 1957.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Oh boy. Number 10, a guy by the name of Bobby Helms. He did this song, was all over the radio, lots of airplane. You Are My Special Angel.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a big hit for the Vogues in the 60s. It's a classic. He's got a little bit of a southern twang to him. This is
My Special Angel.
My Special Angel. Here's the album for that, My Special Angel. Yep. Song goes all the way to number 7, and 2 months later, he turns out another single. Maybe you heard of it. The Jingle Bell Rock. You ever hear this song? Have you heard the Jingle Bell Rock? Let me tell you, they've been playing this song, the Jingle Bell Rock, every November and December, every day, all day long, for 68 years.
Way to go, Bobby Helms.
How many times did we hear that this year?
Great song. Great tune.
Heard it. Here's My Special Angel sheet music right there, number 10. That's number 10 today.
Number 9.
Number 9, movie star Debbie Reynolds. Tammy. I hear the cottonwoods whispering above. Tammy. And it comes from this movie here, from the LP, Tammy and the Bachelor. All right. And there's even a little bit of sheet music here. Tammy, is there anything else? She was married to Eddie Fisher. She was in a lot of movies. My favorite, The Tender Trap with Frank Sinatra, is a great movie.
Of course, my favorite, Singing in the Rain. Maybe the greatest movie of all time. Maybe.
And her daughter is who? Her daughter is Carrie Fisher. That Carrie Fisher, yeah.
It's Star Wars.
Princess Leia. So that's where we're at. Number 9. Number 8 coming up. A lot of records we played by him at home. This was the first big hit. This is Jimmy Rogers on a great sleeve too. Roulette Records and Honeycomb. He had a lot of hit records. My favorites are Secretly and Are You Really, Really Mine? But everybody else's favorite is Honeycomb. This is a great record. He had hit records in the 50s and the 60s. A very likable guy. This is his first album, Jimmy Rogers. He plays a guitar where it's tuned to a chord, and he plays the chords like this, up the fret, all major chords. And if he tunes it the right way, it's all minor chords. You can play a different type of song. It's pretty bizarre.
Last song on the album, Honeycomb.
I saw Tommy James doing something like that too.
We got sheet music?
I guess not.
Okay.
I decided not. Number 7 is a guy by the name of Thurston Harris on the great rhythm and blues label Aladdin. Here's a black Aladdin, a little bitty pretty one.
Beverly Hills, California, Aladdin.
That's
so cool.
And this is
little bitty pretty one.
This is the maroon one. Look at the sleeve. This is on Aladdin Records.
So cool.
It's pretty hard to find. There is no album by Thurston Harris. I went through my comps. I have every compilation album ever made in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
This song is on none of them.
Little bitty, you got to get it on a single.
Nothing.
Well, there's 2 of the 45s
now,
you
could probably get it on a K-Tel or something like that, but there's no old album with this on it. So I got to tell this story on it. So I'm frustrated because I can't find an album with a little bitty pretty one on it. So I go downstairs. This is just a couple of days ago. I'm watching television. I'm watching the news. And on comes a commercial for Cascade. It's a dishwasher detergent. And they're playing Little Bitty Pretty One by Thurston Harris on this commercial.
All-time great
2025 on the same. And it makes you want to stop and you look up in here and you go, What's going on?
Yeah.
Who's messing with
Well, we
me?
did the 71 show, and then now it's a car commercial with Mr. Big Stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because it's all-time great music.
I had never seen it before, and I was just shocked.
Yeah,
said,
well,
this is just so bizarre.
Great song.
All right, here we go. Number 6, the legendary Johnny Mathis, and Chances Are, with the 12th of Never on the flip.
Wow.
This is a great single.
Wow.
And
that is a great single.
This shows up on his classic album,
45.
Johnny's Greatest Hits. Okay. The album was on the charts for the longest time, for decades. It was on the charts for 490 weeks.
Wow.
And you know who broke the record? This album was eclipsed by Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. You see what I did there, John?
Yeah. You eclipsed.
It's kind of a play on.
Yeah, that's why you're the big star of the show. We got sheet music. Music.
He's rushing me along. Let me see. We have Chances Are first. Yes, Chances Are.
All right. Awesome.
So I had to tell that story. Well, Pink Floyd's been on the charts forever. I think it was on for 900.
Yeah, they just did another box set of that, so
maybe. But that's the album that beat, and nobody ever thought that record would be beaten. But
all right, we're going to do the top 5 singles on November 11th, 1957.
Number 5.
These are going to be huge records that everybody knows
Number
about.
5. This is Ricky Nelson. This is the first single on Imperial after the first 2 were on Verve. Ozzy moved him.
And you showed us some Verve albums earlier.
Yeah, this is Be-Bop Baby. Now, there's 2 sides to this, and both sides have I Told You Lately That I Love You listed here, like they expected that to be the big hit. It was more of a ballad. It was pretty big. It was number 39 or something like that. I don't have that information here. But Be-Bop Baby went all the way to number 3, a great up-tempo song. 45 version is the best. It's one of his classic Imperial singles, one of many. And this is a story here too. It comes from the album Ricky. Look how cool this album is. This is his first album on Imperial, and this album went all the way to number 1. This is Ricky Nelson at number 1. I got to tell you how impressive that is. That's a monumental accomplishment. Elvis had gone to number 1 with albums in 56 and 57. He hit number 1 like 4 or 5 times. But nobody else in the rock and roll field hit number 1 on the album charts until the Beatles did in 1964.
Wow.
So we're talking about 8 years. Now, there were people that hit number 1 that are like borderline, like Harry Belafonte, but that's not rock and roll. That's Calypso. Was the Kingston Trio had 5 number 1 albums, but that's not really rock and roll either. That's folk. The other one was Peter, Paul, and Mary. They hit number 1 twice in 63. That's folk. That's folk, though they dabbled in rock and roll a little bit later on. So the fact that this young man could do that and hit number 1 on the album charts was strictly adults at this time is, like I said, a monumental accomplishment. Here's the sheet music for Be-Bop Baby.
Okay.
Number 4. Well, wait a minute. Here's another Be-Bop Baby. This one is, I want to show you that. It's originally on like a maroon.
Yep. Maroon Imperial.
Actually, and this one's red.
Yeah, that's
red.
So cool.
It's a nice sleeve, and then they moved it to the great Stars label there.
To put that back in the sleeve.
Three different ones. What do I have? We're going to go to the next artist, okay? Number 4, this is another classic guy. The first big hit, first chart record by Sam Cooke.
Oh, wow.
This is You Send Me on Keen.
Sam Cooke, You Send Me.
comes from his first album, Sam Cooke.
Yeah, what an
on
unbelievable artist.
Keen Records. I love Sam
You gotta love Sam Cooke.
I mean, he's just
You
so
have to.
smooth.
He's awesome.
I read somewhere that
Classic music.
Rod Stewart locked himself in his room when he was a teenager or something and listened to Sam Cooke for a solid year.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing to do. He's a great
when you listen
musician.
to Rod Stewart today, though he has a different sounding voice, he uses the same style and inflection that Sam Cooke does. So that shows you how influential Sam Cooke is.
Right.
One of the best, like I said about Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke, this also applies. He's one of the best singers of all time.
By that.
Number 3, a group called The Rays. This is on Cameo, which is Cameo Parkway. This is Silhouettes. A yellow one and an orange one. There is no album by the Silhouettes, but it shows up first on this Parkway album called Oldies by the Dozen. Little story about the Rays and Silhouettes. It was written by Frank Slay and Bob Crew. Bob Crew became the producer and songwriter too for the Four Seasons and wrote all those songs and everything. And Silhouettes was also a huge record for, you remember?
Herman's Hermits, of course. Herman's Hermits, yep. It
was their third big hit.
Big hit for them.
Now, the Rays were going to be on the Ed Sullivan Show, and they were on their way to Ed Sullivan Show, or they were traveling to New York, and they got in an automobile accident, and 2 of them got hurt. And they had to put family members in to replace them and teach them how to do the song and everything so they could perform Silhouettes on the Ed Sullivan Show. And there's a clip of them, and they did a pretty good job.
What a story.
So that's a good story.
Wow.
And I have a nice piece of sheet music of Silhouettes by the Rays. Yep. That's the Rays. Number 2, are you ready?
Yep. Number 2 song on November 11th, 1957.
Second single on Cadence by the Everly Brothers. There's a picture sleeve.
Wake Up Little Susie.
Little Susie, written by the Everly Brothers as well. And there's an album. This is their first album. It's called They're Off and Rolling, the Everly Brothers. And that had Bye Bye Love, and it has Wake Up Little Susie on it. Wake Up Little Susie went to number 1. It was there for 4 weeks. These guys are very influential. They influenced the Beatles. You know, when you're in a mall or something, you can hear a song playing. You say, I can't tell what the song is, but you know it's the Everly Brothers. Same with the Beatles. You say, I can't hear the voice, but I can't tell what that is. It's the Beatles. They influenced the Beatles and Simon and Garfunkel. Simon and Garfunkel always did Bye Bye Love or something in their show. It's these guys were very photogenic, and they had that Kentucky harmony that just piercing, you know, just perfect singing. And I have a nice piece of sheet music for that. Wake Up Little Susie. And now for the number
1 song, November 11th, 1957 is
Come On and Do the Jailhouse Rock with
Elvis. Of course, it's Elvis
Presley. It's Elvis Presley and Do the Jailhouse Rock. This is one of his best records. It was a number 1 single for 7 weeks. It's a phenomenal record and a phenomenal video from the movie. You want to see that. If you're going to show one video by Elvis Presley to someone to show them how cool he is, show that. Show Jailhouse Rock, the colorized version of him doing that. There was no album for Jailhouse Rock. It actually is on this EP.
Wow.
Called Jailhouse Rock.
Wow, that is so cool. Jailhouse Rock, Young and Beautiful, I Want to Be Free, Don't Leave Me Now, You're So Square, Baby, I Don't Care. Those are the 5 songs on this EP. A 45
EP. It
EP.
is on his Golden Hits album.
Yeah.
You have that somewhere? We showed it.
Yeah, we showed it.
We showed it. It's on that album. But you can get an it on an album, a modern album like this that they fleshed out and put extra songs in there. The Jailhouse Rock, Elvis Presley. This isn't on RCA or anything. This is a wax time. I think it's some kind of import, but that's cool. I wanted to tell you a little bit of story.
You got some sheet music too, right?
Yeah, I've got the Jailhouse Rock sheet music. This is another Chris story when he was little. Same year, my dad took me and my older brothers to the movies to see Jailhouse Rock. Like 3 years old, going on 4. So I go to see the movie. I come home. My mom asked me, did you like the movie? Did you see Elvis? And Chris says, yeah, the girls were screaming so loud I couldn't hear Elvis sing.
Oh, wow. At the movie.
So this is a classic Chris Cardaz story of going to see Elvis. So that's my chart today. I had a great time. I want to dedicate this 1957 chart to my brother Larry, who had so much to do with me knowing about the 50s and 60s, you know, that kind of influence from a big brother.
Just a great week in music as music was morphing into the rock and roll era. November 11th, 1957. Thanks for watching.